ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. So here you find in the 5th chapter, 21st, 22nd and 23rd, these three shlokas. It deals with the true concept of happiness, sukham. There are two words, sukha and dukkha, happiness and misery. Common word is kha. Kha stands for space, akasha. Good surrounding and not good surrounding. If it is a good surrounding, means it is in accordance with your nature or what you want. That's why we call it sukha, good surrounding. Dukkha, not good surrounding. So, because of this basic ignorance, everything eventually is brought down to this. That's why in Hinduism, all the religious practices, starting from going to temple, to do japa, to go for pilgrimage, whatever you do in the name of religion is only for one purpose. And the purpose is to purify the mind. All our problem is because of the impure mind. What is impure mind? Everybody's mind is impure till you realize the truth, to realize God. So what is this impurity? Basic impurity is of two types, or rather two. One is ignorance about the self. And because it is ignorant about the self, we always feel the dearth. What is the dearth? I have dearth of something. If that requirement is fulfilled, then I will be happy. For example, I am hungry. So there is dearth of food or energy in my body. So if I get food, the dearth is taken care, fulfilled. So you feel happy. But why that dearth is there is because of the ignorance of the self. So far as body is concerned, you have this hunger and thirst. So you require food, water. But the body, or rather our identification with the body, gives rise to different kind of imaginary dearth. It is, for example, you purchased a car. What comes to my mind? If I am not a very conscious person, I also want to have. So you created a dearth. Then you go all out to fulfill that. I also will buy a car. By the time I do, you buy a better car. So my dearth remains the same. This sense of incompleteness gives rise to desire. I am not telling only about the worldly things, about the spiritual things also. Very interesting concept I heard the other day. That's why it is good to do satsanga good to hear those who are good people, great people, spiritual people. Oh, my health is very good. This is only by the grace of God. Oh, I have enough money. That's because of the grace of God. Oh, I have a good people around me. Oh, I have a good house, good food, good place to sleep, etc. We consider that as a grace of God. If it is a grace of God, then how it is increased by my effort? So it is said, anything worldly, not negatively, anything belongs to this world when you get it, is because of your karma. Not only past karma, even the present karma. I don't have money, I do hard work, I get money. Where the grace of God comes into picture. Everybody, even an atheist, work hard, he gets money. Where the God comes into picture? Kshipram hi manushe loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. Siddhi, the result, is because of your karma. So whatever things of the world when we get, it is the result of your karma. Sometimes result of this birth, result of the past birth, accumulated karma. Then what happens with the grace of God? If there is a grace of God, there will be inner transformation. If it is a grace of God to have worldly things with me, then those who have got worldly things should be spiritually great people because it is a grace of God. But it doesn't happen so. So two things we can think of. Result of your action, fruits of your action is inevitable when you do karma. Good karma, good fruits, bad karma, bad results. So anything of this world when you get it, it's because of your karma, positive or negative, of this birth or past births. Sri Ramakrishna says in Kathamrita or the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, if God wants to bless somebody, in one place he says, what he does? He arranges sadhu sangha for him. Sadhu sangha doesn't mean company of a monk. Anything that is good. You got a small book that changed your mindset. That is called satsanga. You went to temple, you saw the deity, you felt very good. That is satsanga. Satsanga means company of the good. In general, company of the good person. But in the modern age, company of the good person can be online also. Company of the good person can be from book form also. Anything which elevates you is satsanga, company of holy, company of good. God arranges that for you. When that is arranged, think you have a grace of God. Secondly is little painful. If God wants to bless somebody, He crushes his or her ego, Sri Ramakrishna says. Why? All our misery is because of the ego. If the more you are egoless, any kind of suffering comes, you take it very, it's God's wish. They are not depressed because of that. Ego is to confrontation with the misery of the world. So Sri Ramakrishna says these two things. God arranges something which elevates your mind. And God gives you a shield by reducing your ego. Just see, Master Mahashaya first time came to Sri Ramakrishna By the second time he comes, Master Mahashaya himself writes, this was the first and the last argument with Sri Ramakrishna. He crushed his ego. Simple way. God doesn't need to do very harsh things to you to crush your ego. If you are prepared. So when Master Mahashaya come, could be Sri Ramakrishna has seen somebody who is going to write the conversation of those 5 years in a book form, which has changed the minds of so many people. When Master Mahashaya came, Sri Ramakrishna asked a simple question, are you married? Master Mahashaya said, yes. Sri Ramakrishna, as if his nephew was there, hey Ramla, see, he is already married. Have you got children? Yes, or Ramla, he has got children also. Why Sri Ramakrishna is disturbed because of that? He is not disturbed. He is crushing his ego. What about your wife? He says, yeah, good, but ignorant. What Sri Ramakrishna would have told? Oh, is it so? Slowly she will be okay. No. Oh, see, you are very knowledgeable, is it? Master Mahashaya says, Sri Ramakrishna says another, these are the simple, small clues which you can get from the gospel. Even if you don't follow big teachings, few things you follow. Sri Ramakrishna says, I can tolerate any vice in people because that is out of ignorance. What I cannot tolerate is the ego. Don't be egoistic. So, few things are there. We say many times, big spiritual teachings, if you don't understand, at least follow Sri Ramakrishna's simple teachings, which is little difficult but not that impossible to practice. And 2 ladies came to Sri Ramakrishna. It was afternoon time. It is there in the gospel. They came to his room. He asked, what about, have you taken lunch? These 2 ladies said, no, today we are fasting. Sri Ramakrishna says them, whenever you come here, eat something and come. I cannot tolerate women fasting. This is Ramakrishna. You want to do fasting little is a different thing. We many times say that at least simple thing, he tells you to take food. At least follow that one. Simple teachings. One thing which is little oral hygiene. Nowhere you see other places, only one place I saw. He says to one of his disciples, do you clean the tongue? He said, no, you better clean the tongue every day. If you don't clean, I will not talk to you. I never miss cleaning the tongue. That much at least let me follow him. So idea is, you will find many incidents in the life of common people, you and me. A simple small incidents change the thinking of your mind. Your total view of life will change. And the teaching doesn't come from a great people. Teaching comes from a common people. I don't know whether I have told this publicly, but let me say this today. Sri Ramakrishna says in Gospel, in Kali Yuga, there is no Akashvani. There is no voice from the heaven. What is Akashvani? That which Kamsa had heard, that now you are rescuing and taking Devaki and Vasudeva, their 8th child is going to kill you. Who told him that? From the heaven, sound came. Sri Ramakrishna, that doesn't happen in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, God speaks through children and the mad people. This is his statement, I do not know. Why? Because these two doesn't have a censor. God doesn't speak through me and you. Why? We have a censor. I want to say something but I hide it. I make it sweet and tell you. Child doesn't have a sensor. What child feels, he will tell you. Mad people doesn't have a sensor. So it could be easier for God to speak to these people because whatever God says, they will speak. I want to cite two examples which happened with me, a child and a mad person. Then I say, you see, Sri Ramakrishna says, and that really happened. Other day, two lady devotees came, so I was talking about this to them. First, the mad lady, I was in Allahabad. I had just joined, must be 1983, 84. A lady used to come. People used to blame her because of her lifestyle, very poor, staying somewhere below the some bridge or something. And because of her this one, she was exploited. But she used to come to our temple, and behind is a Kalibadi in our Allahabad center. So she will go to Kalibadi also, Kali temple also. So I was a very new youngster, just joined mission. I was doing puja. So temple was upstairs. So it is 12 o'clock. So I closed the temple and I was coming down. This lady wants to go up. So what should I say? So I, in a very normal, polite way, I told. Absolutely no hatred for her. I said, no, you come at 4 o'clock. Now temple is closed. You know, this lady answered me. There is a way, sometimes you will find, some people have this. For example, I am talking to him, but I look like this and tell him. Because I do not want you to get hurt, but I am telling to you, but I look at somewhere and tell you. So like this, she looked here and there and told me, let me tell exact word in Bengali, then I will translate for you. So I told, আপনি 4টার সময় আসুন, এখন মন্দির বন্ধ. She told me, বাবা, তোমার মন্দির বন্ধ হতে পারে, আমার মনটা বন্ধ হয়নি. Your temple could be closed, my mind is not closed. Who says this? A mad lady says. By grace of God, I could immediately understand. So I said, you go upstairs. Many doors are closed, so she cannot go inside. So she did pranam at the door, maybe cried, and then returned a little. Because staircase is open. Like here also staircase is open, you go upstairs, you cannot go because doors are closed. Like this. But then I thought, we go to an open temple with a closed mind. She goes to a closed temple with an open mind. Which is more fruitful? Definitely going with open mind is fruitful. But this lesson was taught to me by whom? By this person whom people say not good character, she is like this, like this, like this, she is mad, she is this. Always eyes would have been very red, always. But she never misbehaved, never. Only she will go to temple and she will sing some songs, will cry, and not other cries. She will sing those songs. Her very favorite song was there, which most of you know Bengalis. Amar sadhana furilo asara mitilo, sakali furai jaima. That was very favorite song of hers. I still remember after 40 years. What I remember, a song with that mad lady liked it. I still remember her face. How great is the lesson which you do not get in any book. But who says this? A person who is not supposed to teach anyone, but she can teach a would-be monk that you should go to the temple with open mind. Doesn't matter if the doors are closed. So Sri Ramakrishna says God talks through mad people and children. It must be in 2000, could be 7, 8, like that. It must be Saturday or Sunday. I was looking after the boys' home here. It was morning time, around 6:30, 6:45 or 7 o'clock. I came down from the temple. In front of my office there is a bench. I was sitting on the bench and the newspaper had come, morning newspaper. So I opened the newspaper and I was reading. And we had a practice. Many children, so they used to do some seva, right? Cleaning and all that. And President Swamiji will be there in the temple till 7:10, 7:15. So we had a rule, no children will come out of the boys' home till 7:15 so that they don't go and disturb. But it was only 6:45. One of the youngest boy broke that rule, came out of the boys' home, came up to my office, and with, this is the word to express what actually happened, with utter disgust in his eyes and on his face, like this, and telling to me, what is the age of the boy? 8 years. And I am his superintendent, and they should be afraid of me. He comes to me and says, in English, what makes you to read all these things in the morning? Can you believe? An 8-year-old boy comes to a monk and rebukes him. Why you are reading newspaper in the morning? Again, God's grace only. I was not angry on him. I folded him, okay, give it to the supervisor. And he went. I still remember the boy, his name, everything. You are a monk. You came down from temple. Read some good books. Hear some good bhajans. If you can't do anything, don't do anything, go and sleep. But why you are reading newspaper? There is nothing positive to be read there. If God wants to teach me, do you think any of the devotees will come and tell me, Swamiji, don't read newspaper? No, you don't do it. Senior Swamijis will tell, can tell. They are also in temple only. Nobody was junior to me, otherwise they also will not tell. Staff will tell me, no. So Sri Ramakrishna must be thinking, this child is the best person to advise him. Otherwise, he has nothing to do with my reading newspaper. Then I read in the Gospel, God speaks through children and mad people. So, whatever we do, just observe yourself. Whatever we do is to be happy. We eat food to be happy. We go out to be happy. We do exercise to be happy. Whatever we do is to be happy. Even if you take bitter medicine, eventually to be happy only. Do we do anything so that some misery will come on you? No. By mistake you can do, but with effort you don't do anything. So whatever we do is to be happy. So Sri Krishna uses these 3 shlokas to explain about that feeling of happiness. From where that happiness comes. I feel very hot. You switch on the aircon, I feel good. So I am happy. But if I have fever, I am sleeping with blanket and you switch on the aircon, I will say, no, switch off, switch off, switch off. Object cannot give you happiness. It fulfills your dearth. That's why it is happiness. That dearth is common. So we switch on aircon, so all of us are happy. But if anybody has a fever, you will find sometimes some people, I don't see in front of aircon, I see either this side or that side. Because it doesn't suit him or her. Sri Krishna says this. What is that? Yehi sansparshaja bhoga. Bhoga, enjoyment, sansparshaja bhoga. This bhoga, which is result of the sansparsha, the contact. Contact of what? Senses and the sense objects. Then very interestingly, which we cannot think unless scripture says, Yahi sansparshaja bhoga dukkhayonaya evate. They are the source of misery. How it is a source of misery? For example, aircon makes the room cool. So we are happy. The coolness comes from the aircon, touches my skin, and I feel happy. It is a sansparsha, contact. There is an object, you feel good about seeing it, so you look at it and you feel happy. There is a food, you eat it, you feel happy, but everything is with a contact. Sri Krishna says, whichever is a result of the contact of the senses and sense objects, it is outcome is from misery. Very difficult to understand. Because we never expect it. If your mobile phone is stolen, how much discomfort till you get a mobile phone? My all aircons are not working. I will have to tell, let us have class somewhere else where it is cool enough. What we say is, we got habituated with that. So now without that we cannot live. So my happiness is practically deposited with this air-conditioned machine. If it works, I am happy. If it doesn't work, I am not happy. Yahi sansparshaja bhoga dukkhayonaya evate. The source is dukkha. So what should we do? Should you not use anything which gives you happiness? You cannot live without that. That's why this austerity comes. Slowly this is reducing in every society. Scientific and other improvement means comfort increases. Here when the word comfort comes, I want to say something. When we first read the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, he says, give food, clothes, medicine, etc. to the poor people. Give little comfort to them. It took years for me to understand this. Why you need to give comfort to people? Now think about yourself. If all your comfort is taken away, can we live without that? What is comfort? That which makes you relatively happy, could be instantly. A child is crying, give a chocolate. Child is happy. Even adults, when people have so much trouble, so much misery, so much unpleasantness of any kind, what we generally do is have something first. When food goes in stomach, your major portion of your unhappiness goes away for time being. That gives comfort. With this another thing which is I came to know because of my association with the boys' home and studying some trainings. Once they told, children don't eat because they are hungry. Children eat for comfort. Children sit for... All of us are the same thing. Normal food I serve, no, enough. My stomach is full. Then I bring ice cream. Oh, yeah, can take little. Why? Just now you told stomach is full. Stomach is full. That ice cream which you take or the chocolate which you take is not to fulfill your stomach, fill up your stomach. It's for comfort. It gives happiness. It gives little happiness. So that which removes little misery of the people, you can give little comfort to people. And when you give, don't give like that you are great, that's why give somebody, no. That I am fortunate that I am able to help you or serve you. So Krishna says, whatever is sansparshaja bhoga, those enjoyment that result from contact with the objects are verily the sources of sorrow. Why sources of sorrow? He gives the reason. Adyantavanta, it has got beginning and end. Take whatever gives you happiness. Persons, places, things, concept, whatever of this world. Everything has a beginning and end. So beginning, why? It starts giving you happiness. As soon as end comes, it gives you misery. Because it doesn't have a capacity to constantly give you happiness, one thing. Secondly, this we have discussed. Secondly, same thing in less or more proportions also loses its capacity to make you happy. If you don't put salt in curry, you get angry. You put more salt, you get angry. What makes you happy? If the salt in the curry is within this range, then only it gives happiness. Little more, little less doesn't give. Everything has this nature. Light, more bright, you cannot take it. So you don't want to go out at 12 o'clock in the afternoon because very hot. If it is very cold, people don't go out. So we have a window of temperature. Pressure. People don't go to the very, very high mountain. Small mountains are very happy. But as soon as it is few thousand feet, the air becomes thinner. 8,000 feet, air is so thin that you don't have enough oxygen. So you can't survive there. You swim in water, no issue. You cannot go more than certain depth. You can't take that water pressure. Today only I was hearing that what Red Sea, no? Where salt is more, where people just float. So much density of salt. Water looks same, but no live creatures are there because they can't take it. Little below it, say pressure is too much. Why this example I am giving is, only there is a small window, less than that and more than that, it loses its capacity to make you happy. Within that is okay. So he says, Adyantavanta, because it has beginning and end. It is not permanent. But our concept of happiness is always this sansparshaja bhoga. That's why the spiritual life comes from here. That source, which is you, which is within you, is actually the reservoir of happiness. All the happiness actually comes from there. But we don't have as if access to that. We do have access, but only by one way, that is sleep. People want to sleep. Why every day you want to sleep? That fatigue which happens during your waking hours cannot be taken away. You cannot be relieved from that fatigue unless you go to deep sleep. Not even dream, deep sleep. Power nap, correct? 15-20 minutes, but deep sleep. You go and touch that place within, and when you come out, you are fresh. If you don't go to deep sleep because of your mind, you keep on seeing dreams. Even if things which gives you happiness, a time comes when you do not want that. People watch TV, etc. till late night. What late night? It becomes morning. But then you want to go to deep sleep. Why? That was giving you happiness, no? Or no? No more. I want to sleep. Why you want to sleep? Oh, we are tired. That is another way of looking at it. But every day you want to go and touch yourself within. Your body sleeps, your mind sleeps, but you are there, alone with your own self. That gives you freshness. That is the reservoir of happiness and freshness. That which is happiness, which is result of the contact, has limitations. As I told, it cannot give you constant happiness. Secondly, if it is less or more also, it doesn't give happiness to you. Then he said, no, Teshu Ramate Buddha. Who is Buddha? Not Buddha. Buddha. Buddha means intelligent. One who is wise lives in this world, but his happiness is not deposited in these objects. We as if deposit our happiness in different places. Sometimes we deposit our happiness with people. Oh, I sent so many emails, he doesn't reply. If he replies, I am happy. That means happiness comes through his reply, because my happiness is given to him. Oh, I send message also, doesn't reply. As a message came, you became happy. What brought happiness? That reply. That means happiness was with him or her. How much chances are there is for you to be happy if your happiness is deposited with so many people? That's why there are some statements which are very direct, sometimes rude, but sometimes we use it. I have to be happy with you or without you. As soon as you are slave of an object, a person, thing, whatever, as if you are depositing your happiness with them, and if they don't give happiness to you, you are unhappy. You can deposit your happiness in the aircon also. Why? Oh, if it works, I am happy. If it doesn't work, I am not happy. Where your happiness gone? No, it is with him. If it works, I am happy. Why it is said the source is unhappiness or misery? Is from this point of view. That's why the shlokas are there which says, even if you live in this world, even if you in a way depend on that apparently, but it should not disturb the core of yourself. When we were in training center in Belur Math, 1986 to 88, we never had fans. Forget about aircon. In Calcutta, perspiring, heat, any season, all the 12 months. So we used to sit in the corridor of the building to read, and like a stool will be there, sit on the floor, there is a table. And when we read it, the pages becomes wet because of perspiring. Go to dining hall, hot food, but no fan. You eat food and do like this. Much later, I think when Swami Ranganathanji became president, he told, I think fan is no more a luxury. Just put fan, at least brahmacharis can sleep in the night. We can't sleep. In one of the centers, we never had that much money. So we have some workers in the ashram, and without fan and all that, very hot. So they will be sitting outside big ashram, so in front of the temple with fan or with piece of cloth and all that. So when I was posted there, I saw up to 11 o'clock there outside, 12 o'clock there outside. So I went to very senior Swamiji who was my president. That was Swamiji, a small request. Can we get 2-3 fans for these workers? At least night they can sleep. And I understand his condition. I say, why? I say, if they don't sleep, how they will work in the morning? So he has one problem, that there is no money to buy the fan. Second, I don't have money to pay the electric bill. How much electric bill you are going to pay for the fan? Slowly I convinced him, and I said, Swamiji, it is requirement. Otherwise they cannot work. So that was one time. But life was happy. A small thing could give us happiness. Now even big things doesn't give you happiness. Look at the developed countries. Does any small thing give you happiness? No. Thing must be big. Then only gives happiness. For us, at that time, Moody, puff rice. Puff rice is not even fried. Directly from a market, open the gunny bag and give. Suddenly we found, these are all silly things now, suddenly we found on the notice board, today we have 1 kilo chanachur from such and such center. So each brahmachari got 1 teaspoon of chanachur. What is chanachur? That mixture which we eat. In this much of rice, mudi, 1 spoon of chanachur. And you have to see the happiness. Not that they are beggars. They are all highly qualified individuals. But nobody complained. Because we never came here to eat. We came here to lead a spiritual life. Whatever is available, we take. But now, many things are coming, so it doesn't make you happy. Let's say, sometimes some people I have talked. When I or we, when we sit and see some good food, just tell to myself, take it, be happy. But remember, you are taking much more than what you deserve. What we deserve is life under a tree and beg food, whatever we get. That is the ideal. But now time has changed. We live in the cities. We do work. We have a dining hall, kitchen, cook and eat food. Mahapurush Maharaj, Swami Shivanji used to say, for the sake of work, even if you have to stay in a palace, always remember that your place is under the tree. So you don't get attached to these things. We have many centers which are in a village center. You cannot make a palace in the village center. You have to live like other villagers. So simple houses, no aircon at all. Sometimes fan, that also electricity will not be there. But nobody complains. Because that is not the prime thing for me to be happy. So here he says this. So this concept to understand. Even if you understand the concept, nobody says you to give up your way of life. But understand the concept. Don't be carried away with these things. I give a small example. Up to what extent ideal is telling you to practice. Many years before we had a very great Swami, Muktirupanji, stayed here for 14 years. So in dining hall always he sits, then I sit, then other Swami, like this we sit. So one day, this is a real fact, one day the cook forgot to put salt in dal. I didn't complain. I just casually told because he is a cook. I said, hey, just see, there is no salt in the dal. This President Swami looked at me and told, so what? So what? If you beg food from any house as a beggar, we are monks. We do complain, hey, madam, no salt in your dal. No, you take whatever is available to you. Of course, salt is there in front, you just add salt and eat. Idea is not this, that even if there is no salt, you should not from that point of view. But anything, you go up to that extent, you mentally be prepared up to that extent, that surroundings, good or bad, should not be able to disturb you in the focus of your mind. For what? You come here, or we monks, or whichever way you want to take. Because the more dependence on external things are there, you live the life, nobody says no. But whenever you get frustrated because of external things, when you get miserable because of something, at that time remember this thing, that same aircon which gives me happiness for so many years, today first time it is not working and I am angry. What is my state of mind? Spiritual life is subjective. Unless you improve yourself, you cannot progress. So idea is that whichever way of life you are leading, nothing wrong is there. You can continue in that. Only the state of mind has to change. That once I am bound, once I am dependent, it becomes a source of misery for me. So that is one idea. The one more shloka is there, we shall discuss next time. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Mission Singapore.